what's the biggest surprise to Jamie Erdahl so far this season?
You know what I love about this season is that everyone's right and everyone's wrong, and people can stop complaining or yelling at you if you got something wrong about their team, because everyone's kind of mediocre, and I like it. You know, everyone predicts things, and I just hear less beef and less chatter in the inbox, if you will, from fan bases, because everyone's been humbled at some point already this season. We were talking this morning on Good Morning Football, 11 4-win teams. And I like it like that. I personally think that it's more fun if you don't have the juggernaut, because then we kind of are really all focused on the juggernaut. And I like the fact that teams are demanding us to talk about them in normally a term that we wouldn't, like a Seahawks team, like a Jaguars team. Mm-hmm. So I like spreading the wealth, because at least editorially it makes it more interesting for us.
11 4-win teams. There's also, I looked this up yesterday, 20 teams that are 3-3 or better.
Yeah.
So right now, sitting here, we're 20 days out from the trade deadline. Yeah. And to the extent that in talking to and texting with GMs yesterday, everyone's like, yeah, it's really quiet. It's like, because there's not many teams that yet can convince themselves, much less their owners, like, hey, we should trade everybody right now.
Buy or sell.
Everybody, except maybe the Jets and the Titans, are kind of in a spot where it's like, well, we still got an opportunity. Mm-hmm. There's a path for us to get back into this thing.
And then you just got done talking about like the Tomlin, the weird AFC North triangle, which I was really enjoying that conversation. And just like, we always look at the Cowboys and Jerry Jones as he says things to kind of stir the pot. And I fully think Tomlin doesn't take that approach. I just think he says things to say them that's on his mind. And it's not to stir the pot. It's how he actually feels. So it's, you know, I was wondering that about the trade deadline. First of all, it's odd that it's so late. It kind of bugs me that it's into November. I kind of put Halloween as like my trade deadline.
And they bumped it a couple of years ago.
Did, yeah.
Yes, trade deadline was on Halloween 2 years ago.
Yes, it was.
We had trades. I felt great getting past it. We did our show. I went out trick-or-treating with the kids. Woke up to approximately 47 missed calls and text messages about Josh McDaniels being fired immediately after the trade deadline. It's the short list of like 3 firings I've ever slept through. But that was a case where I'm like, all right, we got through the deadline. I'm checking on it, but it's like, they're not going to fire him on Halloween night after the trade deadline. And they did. And you never know when that's going to occur.
No, you do not. I thought you were going to say you slept through it because like that Raiders team was just one that you were sleeping on, if you will.
No, but I had my AirPod on. You know, it's trick-or-treating in Minneapolis.
Do you sleep with AirPods in?
It depends. I sleep with AirPods in if there's a specific piece of news I'm waiting for.
And what does your AirPods say to you? Is it a voice that's like,
it's
wake
Siri.
up, Tom, things are happening?
No, Siri, though, will be like, you got a text message for this person said this.
Okay, wait, no. You can't. Stop down. So then when Siri says, Tom, you have a text from Mom, you're like, go away, Mom, I'm not going to respond right now. But if it's like
text.
from Andrew Barry.
It reads the whole text.
Stop it. And your brain is processing it through osmosis or something?
I mean, I will sort of jolt awake. And then if it's not important, I'll click the little thing and it'll go away.
I don't think people knew this about insiders.
This last year, it happened.
I don't think this is healthy.
I did it last year. It was middle of the season.
Yeah.
And again, I was like, man, I'm bushed. It's 10 o'clock or 10:30, whatever, when the Central Time, the Sunday night game had ended. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to bed, but like there's enough stuff here that like something weird could happen. So I have my AirPods in and sure enough, like 20 minutes later, the phone rings. In that case, it was a call, but then I've got the ringing in my ear and saying, this person is calling you. And I picked it up and it was, dude, you better call Vegas because they just fired Luke Getsy, the offensive coordinator. If I hadn't slept with the AirPods in, and that was literally from that Halloween experience, ever since then, if I think there's a faint chance of something happening overnight, AirPods are in.
What is playing in the AirPods?
Do you want to sit here and interview me?
No, kind of.
Yes.
No, bring it on.
Let's go.
I am all for this conversation.
Todd, people are always wondering how you guys get this stuff done. And frankly, I've never heard of this before, and I've never had the audacity to ask. And that was really fascinating to me. And now it makes me feel a lot less productive than me having like 3 television shows that I'm trying to manage.
Well, you have, and I feel it when I'm here. Two years in a row, I've been here hosting this show when the first head coach firing of the season happened.
Oh.
Last year, it was Robert Saleh on a Tuesday, which happened right before
because Rich Kurt and I had just done that Jets-Vikings game.
Correct.
And I came back, and it was like... I was on the Jets sideline for that game, just staring at the back of Aaron Rodgers, like sad body language the entire game.
I will always say, I covered Aaron, from early in his career, his first year as the starter in Green Bay, and I was at the Green Bay Press Gazette. I have never seen him play a worse game than that one. But my thinking was, Aaron is done. It wasn't Robert Saleh is gone. Though in hindsight, you looked back and there was just kind of this sinking vibe around the team. Woody Johnson had already kind of decided he didn't want Saleh to be the coach. But usually, if you're going to do that, then you fire him on Monday, not waiting till Tuesday.
Right.
And then this year, live on this show, Brian Callahan is fired via press release in the middle of the show. So, I mean, yeah, my point is, when you're doing those shows, you are so ensconced in it from 2 hours before the show, prepping for GMFB, through, in your case, a 4-hour show, including Good Morning Football overtime. That is a little bit different than me popping on your show for 90 seconds, making a wisecrack about Kyle, delivering you some injury news, and then going back to making calls again.
You do it so beautifully, though, and we appreciate the effort that you do.
I do appreciate that.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.